I'm sorry, Death Stranding. You've been retroactively eliminated. You are now Uncharted 2.
This is the most Kojima way of getting rid of Death Stranding. Welcome back to Baldur's Gate, the podcast where we review all the latest Baldur's Gate fanfiction with very serious retellings and recountings of the stories and our reactions to them.
I can't wait until we get really famous and we can host GapeCon, which is just a Baldur's Gate convention.
It's not a Baldur's Gate convention, correct? Is that what you said?
Yes, GapeCon.
Okay. GapeCon. What other Gape-related media or content is going to be there?
This is such a disaster. We're
all right,
not even a minute in.
Start over.
Start a fucking podcast off.
Chase is hitting the self-destruct button on this pod real quick.
Wow. That was really tough. I wanted to yes and it, and I couldn't do it.
No, it's actually me. It's the summer spirit of optimism. I'm back.
A little roll switch. The old switcheroo.
Why do you hate GapeCon, Chase? I go every year.
I don't want to yuck your yum. GapeCon is not something that deserves to be in the first 2 minutes of a pod. The first 2 minutes of a pod is like, hey, new listener, welcome to this nice place that we've got here. We're going to set up a nice chair for you over here in this corner of the podcast.
Maybe.
Rather than, welcome to fucking GapeCon, bro!
Hey, maybe don't act like you can't just chop that up in some editing. You got it. I believe in your skills.
This pod's going straight online. I'm editing nothing. It's going straight through the tubes.
It's a live podcast. No editing. Just put the raw file online.
Yeah.
Hey Chase, how you doing this week?
Hey, hello.
This is video game Optimism.
Oh my god. I just can't get away.
I'm sorry, your reactions are too spicy for me.
It's strong. I hear what's going on. It's video game Podtimists, where two best friends talk about the wonderful world of gaming and occasionally Baldur's Gate.
The wonderful world of gaming and the wonderful world of gaping.
I just don't know if it's a wonderful world of gaping. I don't know if that's a thing.
Chase, don't be such a prude, Chase.
This is a podcast for children.
Is it?
No. I mark it as explicit.
There could be children. There could be children.
True. Yeah, don't do this thing.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Okay. Great. Where we talk about it's an Optimist video game variety show. That's all you need to know. My name is Chase.
That is the next thing. My name is David. That's the other next thing.
That's the other thing.
And this is a video game podcast. Sorry if we fooled anybody who was looking for more game-related content.
It's not here. I'm sorry.
It was, in hindsight... In hindsight, a bad joke, because now we've made you the butt of the joke.
Oh, that's what you're laughing about?
I can't, now everything is okay. I can't
butt
even.
Themed. You can try it again. Do you want to take another pass at the joke?
I'm trying to do an actual apology right now, but I can't stop myself from subconsciously making more jokes.
Just another butt joke. Is that all this podcast is to you, David? Just another butt joke?
I mean... It's that and other things, too.
It's also other things. Have you been playing video games, Sir David?
Sir?
I thought I'd bring an air of professionalism.
Let's see. I have been playing video games. That's something that I have been doing.
Okay, cool. Do you want to tell me about those?
Yeah, I think I do. So I have been playing... Probably the one I've been playing the most is Link's Awakening. Good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I like The art style is great, I think.
Still holding up.
Yeah, it's fun to play when Mallory's kind of half watching, because she'll look up and just like tell me things to do that are right every single time, which is very frustrating. Wow. And I'm just
she's got the gift, man.
She does. She's a video game savant, and it makes me feel very insecure. But that's something I just need to grapple with, because this is just who she is. So this insecurity is all on me. So I'm gonna figure it out, and we're gonna get through it.
Great. I mean, you guys beat Divinity, so like
100%. And she's very adept. She knows what she's doing.
Sure.
So that's been fun. It falls into that same kind of Zelda frustration with me, where I feel like there's always a certain point where I just don't know what to do, and it's because it's just something super obscure that I would not even know to try to do. Or they gave me some clue that just went right over my head because I don't know what a pole's voice is. Apparently, it's a bunny rabbit thing.
Oh, sure.
It's a pole's voice.
Sure.
You're supposed to kill them in a certain order, and then you get the key. And I was just like, what am I... where's the pole's voice? Why is a bunny rabbit thing a pole's voice? Anyways, I digress.
This Zelda specifically is pretty heavy with the, like, what am I doing and why aspect.
It's like the Zelda fever dream.
There's definitely some Zeldas that are easier than others to be like, oh, I know what I should be doing right now.
Yeah.
I think most of the 3D ones are usually pretty obvious with what you kind of need to be doing, but the 2D ones are a lot harder to kind of suss out what exactly needs to be happening at any given time. Yeah, totally. Surprisingly enough, the only Zelda I've never needed help with, or like an online guide with, is the most recent one, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I feel like that one it definitely doesn't say here's what you should be doing, but it's like your main objective is over there, but you can really do what the fuck ever. Yeah, it's because there's really no one thing that you have to be doing to progress. It's just it just lets you go. That's kind of what I like about that one too, because I didn't have that feeling of just like, oh, what am I doing? Yeah. But other than that, really fun game. I like the progression of it. I like all the temples so far. I like the musical instruments, how they play something every time you get one. Pretty fun, yeah. Yeah, and I also like being able to jump, and I like the weird like Mario things that go on, and I'm just like, what are you doing here? What are you? It's doing pretty off the wall with all that stuff. You don't belong here. Mm-hmm. What's happening? Why is the chain jump here? Why chain jump? What are you doing? This isn't your neighborhood, bro. So it's good. I've also still been playing Overwatch. Every once in a while, just jump in, bang out a couple games and Mystery Heroes. Get it done. Be a boss. Finish the fight. Finish the fight. Finish the fight. Oh, hi there. That was my best Winston. That just sounded like Sadston. Oh, no. Anyways, playing a little bit of The Witcher. Witcher 3. Okay. Witchin'. Been playing some fun side missions. I feel like that's a game that I might be playing for like the next 2 years and still have things to do in it, because if you just play a little bit, it'll certainly last you quite some time. Yeah, it just tides you over if you're just like, I don't really have anything else I'd like really want to do, and I don't want to do anything super stressful in a game. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, Witcher. I played a little bit of the remaster of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Okay. That was like free on PlayStation, right? It was free on PlayStation. Nice. I played the first level and promptly uninstalled it. So I'm just like, this isn't fun. I don't know. It just it didn't feel good. The controls didn't feel good. For some reason, the PS4 controller has like a huge like dead spot on the control stick. I don't know if it's my PlayStation or my controllers in particular, but I just feel like I have no control when I play that game, and I just don't remember feeling that way when I first played it. The controls feel weird. I don't know what's going on with it. Interesting. Okay. And I also just the hoorah Marines, let's go, and all like the just ridiculous like military jargon that they do, and just the intro scene where it's just a satellite going around the world just like looking at things. It was cool when it came out, but it's just been so done over and over and over again that when you go back to it, it just seems silly, like a mockery of itself almost, which is sad because at the time it was quite good. And this one was the one where Russia invades, which was like a great single player. Yeah, probably the height of the single player, I would say, in my opinion. Oh, that's hard to say against Modern Warfare 1 though, but I don't know. I liked that really level good. A lot, where you're like running through the suburbs It's like very, very interesting and like something you don't see all that often.
Was they Protect the Burger Town or something like that?
Yeah. Ramirez.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I had no desire to continue playing it. I just feel I've something about Call of Duty nowadays just does not get me going whatsoever.
It's a little bit more painful now than it was, 10, 15 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't want to sound like some enlightened old head now, but like it is a little bit harder to be like, isn't the military industrial complex fun, guys?
Isn't this tight? This is a fun game, isn't it?
Look at the good guys shooting the bad guys, because that's how it is.
We're going to put these controllers in our tanks when you're old enough, kid.
Yeah, dude, it's harder. It's harder to deal with, I guess.
Something else, I've been playing Tomb Raider. Play the new Tomb Raider.
Yep.
That's been fun. It's definitely good. Feels like and this is kind of a compliment, I would say. It feels like a B version of an Uncharted game, because even the B version of an Uncharted game is still a good game.
Still pretty good, yeah.
The writing just isn't quite there.
Yeah, that's fair.
As with Uncharted, the platforming isn't quite there. As with Uncharted, gunplay is not as tight, but it still gives you that good feeling of exploration, freedom, fun.
Yeah.
But Laura just feels like she floats around like a sugar glider whenever she's jumping to and from her platforms. And her sidekick definitely leaves something to be desired in his lexicon of words that he chooses to use and describe things. He could probably deal with, saying shit maybe 20 or so less times.
Another word, please. Do you have any others?
He says it so often. It just feels like they're at this point trying to make it funny or like a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really like a thing for someone to say, like, oh, don't you remember this guy in the game? He said shit all the time. That's not something I want to remember a game for.
Sweet
or a character from a game.
Cool character.
That's the shit guy. So I've been playing that one. It's still good though. It's still a good game. Still fun. Still enjoyable. And then also I've been playing a little game called
Divinity Original Sin 2.
How'd you know?
Actually?
How'd you know? Yes.
Actually?
Yes.
What? I thought we were done.
We're back, baby. Now we're Shadow Blades.
Get out. Get out while you can.
Second playthrough. Here we go.
No. I thought we were done with this part of the podcast. The part where you talk about Divinity.
We're playing through again, and we're assassins.
Wow. Okay. Starting over.
Yeah, the couple
Roll
of days.
it back.
Yeah, the first couple of days afterwards, Mallory's like, I'm sad because we don't get to play Divinity anymore. And I'm just like, we could still play again, just as different characters. And she's like, okay. And so we got on, did the whole entire create a character thing, and chose different classes and different spells and different things. And
we had it again, baby.
We had it again. We've already murdered a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's okay. So here's my one Divinity story for the week now.
Okay.
So there's always a Divinity story for the week if I'm playing Divinity. So I'm now a Shadow Blade, which is an assassin, right?
Okay.
So I'm sneaky boy. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just going to go and steal everything.
Yeah.
And get all this money and get all these things and just be super strong, right? My question is, what's the point of having a good sneaking skill and high thievery level if when I come out of the sneaking aspect of the game, the person who I just stole stuff from comes up to me and is like, hey, I'm missing my stuff. It went missing. Can I just like check you? And then you have to either like persuade your way out of it or fight them and kill them. Those are the only two options.
You not only got to be a good thief, you got to be a good liar too.
Yeah. So I screwed the pooch pretty hard. In pretty much the beginning area of the game,
just killed everybody.
I went and I stole this guy's money, he's like a mage who works for like the camp boss, who's like a thug type of guy.
Yeah,
like runs the place. And then I went and I stole this dwarf's helmet because it looked good and I wanted it. So I stole it.
Yeah,
and then I came out of my sneak mode, and literally everybody in the camp wanted to fight me. It wasn't even just the people who I had stole from. It was literally everybody in camp.
I got a bad feeling about this guy.
Everybody in camp
fight him.
Was like, we're going to murder you now. And so we had to fight for our lives.
Wow, not great. Did you survive?
We survived.
Wow.
We killed, literally, there was 4 of us, and I think we murdered like 15 NPCs. And
this is wild. I got my ass kicked in the starting zone, David. I don't know how you guys are doing this.
We're already 115 hours in, Chase. We're bloodied.
Sure, yeah.
We're experts at this point. So, yeah, that was... They're like some people that we know we get quests from and stuff. I'm just like, man.
Now I gotta kill you because I stole your pants.
Mallory was a little upset with me, but it's the way it goes. Sometimes you risk it for a biscuit, and the biscuit bites you back.
It is, David.
Biscuit bites. So yeah, that's my Divinity story of the week. I stole some money and I stole a helmet, and then I was forced to kill every single person in camp. Besides the guards. The guards didn't attack us. They just let all the prisoners just kill each other. It was pretty nice. It was the one bright spot of it, because we didn't defend the guards, because they would have just kicked our ass.
Thanks, guards.
That's what I've been playing. That's it. What have you been playing?
I have been adrift since I finished Prey. I just don't really know where I'm going, but I've been dipping my toes into quite a few things.
Okay.
Because of the Steam Link situation that I've set up, and been playing a lot of Griftlands. Griftlands is kind of like Slay the Spire, a little bit more involved. It is like a card drafting game where you play through some kind of like narrative and gotta draft them cards, baby.
You and these deck building games.
It's not something I would have ever predicted that would have been so gripping for me, but for whatever reason it is.
You just can't get enough.
It's the sensation of drafting cards is just good.
The sensation of drafting cards is good.
Good, satisfying.
That's a Gucci.
The game itself is pretty good too. It's pretty interesting. It has like two kind of battle systems, which is cool. You have like negotiation battle and like physical battle, and so you have like a separate deck of cards for each of those things. And the way that they both play out is pretty novel and interesting.
Okay, how they play out?
I mean, battle's pretty traditional, like turn-based combat with like you draft a hand of cards and it determines like what you can do any given turn, of like do some damage, gain defense, apply some kind of status, debuff or buff on yourself or something like that.
Okay.
The negotiation is kind of similar in that like it is a point-based turn-based battle thing. Like you have points that you're trying to do damage to your opponent, and once you do or don't finish that, it like convinces them one way or another to do something.
Okay.
And so it's as if the persuasion check in D&D was expanded into like a whole game. And there's like all sorts of complications with like, you have different kinds of negotiation tactics. Like you can either be essentially a nice guy or a mean guy, like trying to threaten someone or like reason with them or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that essentially equates to just like how your deck is built out. So it's a pretty neat abstraction of how to actually do that. So Griftlands, it's good. It's good.
Griftlands. All right. Sounds like a Chase Albee special.
Definitely. I dipped my toes into Rogue Legacy 2.
Okay. What is that?
Did you play Rogue Legacy 1?
I don't think so.
It was one of the first like roguelike games that I had played. It came out in like 2013, I want to say.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit earlier, but it was pretty foundational in the like my introduction into roguelikes. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like hot when roguelikes were first starting to get like some attention. It's like this is a fun kind of game.
Yeah.
Again, to reiterate, roguelikes being games where you do like a run on a dungeon or something, you fight some people, and if you die, you go back and your progress starts over. Uh-huh. This was one of the roguelites in the sense that over every run, you carry over some amount of like gold, which you can increase your overall like damage or defense or health or something like that, such that like each run it gets a little bit easier. So while two things are running in tandem, your stats are getting better and you yourself are getting better at the game. So it was sort of this interesting combo that always felt good to play. Mm-hmm. Rogue Legacy 2, it is very similar. It is a very similar game to the first one. It's also like in deep beta, I would call it, almost alpha. They really only have like one part of the game done. Okay. And so I kind of wanted to like try it and see how it felt, but I also want to like wait a little bit until it's closer to being done. I don't know if you've played a ton of games that are in like beta or alpha or anything like that, but I played, was it Hades? That game that was made by the like Bastion folks. Mm-hmm. I played that in pretty early beta and like came back and was like, this is just like a whole different game, and felt Like I had both played it and beat it and also definitely didn't play it. So like, I don't know, it was this weird kind of no man's land if I didn't know what to do with it. But
did you like it better in the finished version?
I think so. It was a better game. I felt like I had already done it. And so I wasn't really sure, like, do I want to devote time to like this game that I've kind of already played, but not really? Like, I don't know. It was weird, but I do want to give Rogue Legacy 2 a little bit more time until it's like done. I've also been playing this game called Parkasaurus.
Parkasaurus. You have so many diverse games you play, Jazaldi. Parkasaurus.
I keep like, it's Steam. Steam keeps like recommending me these games that are like, hey, it's like $20. Do you want to try it? I'm like, yes, Steam, I do. Parkasaurus plays out a little bit like a like sim theme park or a Zoo Tycoon or something.
All right.
But it's dinosaurs that you're taking care of. So that's already pretty cool.
Oh, okay. So it's a dinosaur. You're a dinosaur keeper.
Yeah, you are building like a zoo around dinosaurs. Is essentially the draw of it.
So it's Jurassic Park.
Kind of, yes. I mean, they make little jokes about it in the game and stuff. Like, you have to hire security in case things go wrong. They're like, nothing ever goes wrong at dinosaur parks. But they do. They do.
Can things go wrong in your park? Can the dinosaurs escape and eat people?
They can, yes. But it's all very, like, lo-fi and cutesy, so it's never, like, a big problem. I never felt bad whenever they got out of any people.
It's never a big problem for you, but it's a big problem for all the people, electronic people who are getting eaten.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I imagine getting eaten by a dinosaur isn't the best experience, but, you know, it's not my problem.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Don't knock getting eaten by a dinosaur until you try it.
Right.
So that one's pretty fun. I don't know how long it's going to keep me for, just because like I feel like I've kind of seen a lot of it already, but it's pretty interesting. If you like Zoo Tycoon, that's a great game.
I did like Zoo Tycoon as a kid, but
yeah,
you know, I don't think I liked it for the right reasons.
Do you like feeding people to the animals? Not
people, but just seeing what happens if you put predators and prey in the same pen and doing that. And then also, I just remember having a tough time like managing my monkeys.
Monkeys are notoriously unmanageable, my friend.
They're so difficult. They would just have so many little monkey babies. And I would just get overrun with monkeys. It's just like, dude, people are mad because there's too many monkeys in the monkey enclosure. So what are you going to do? You're going to just like, can I sell them? Can I make them bigger? It's just like the whole park was monkeys.
I don't like this enclosure at all. There's hundreds of monkeys in there. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't want to look at all those monkeys.
It was bad. It was bad. The monkeys were too happy.
Interesting.
They were too happy.
I think maybe you were making a park for the wrong people. You were making these apes very happy, but
I was.
The patrons were not stoked.
Patrons weren't stoked on having that many monkeys.
I get it.
Now, what would be the equivalent in Parkasaurus? Is there something that like reproduces really quickly?
No, it's actually pretty hard to get dinosaurs. So I doubt that they would.
Wait, so what do you? If the whole game is about the Zoo Tycoon with dinosaurs, then it's hard to get dinosaurs. Then how are you just like making habitats and like
you definitely make habitats. I haven't mated any of them yet, so maybe that's easier in the later game. But there's like a mini game that you have to go like dig for fossils and then turn the dinosaurs into like eggs to hatch.
Oh,
which I think is pretty fun. It adds another layer to just like having another animal.
Okay,
but it is sort of harder to get a hold of some of the dinos.
Sure. Okay, interesting.
So yeah, that's the other thing. And then the last game that I played was this horror indie game called Paratopic, which came out on Switch recently.
Paratopic.
Highly recommend it if you get a chance. It's like $4.
Okay.
And it takes maybe 30 minutes to an hour to beat.
That's short.
It's short. It's quite good. It's like, again, like what is it, Fatum Batula, whatever that one was.
Okay. Yeah.
Insofar as it looks like a cursed PS1 video game.
Sure.
It's pretty spooky. It feels like if David Lynch didn't go into film, he accidentally went into game development in 1999.
Ooh. Okay.
It's like spooky, and there's like all these jump cuts that are like you're trying to piece together just what the fuck is going on, and like a lot of it's pretty unsettling and just kind of scary. So it's good stuff. I enjoyed it, even if the story was kind of like incoherent at times. It's still pretty enjoyable for a $4 game. That's kind of what I want out of like horror games. I don't want it to be this like 40-hour experience. I want to like get spooked, get in, get spooked, get out.
You're just trying to get that spook in.
I'm trying to get my spook rocks off is all that's happening here. So
all right. I see.
Yeah.
I understand you on a deeper level now.
yeah, I got you.
So that's good.
So that one's pretty good. If you have a second, I would dip my toes in there.
Okay. It's on Steam.
It is on the Switch store. It's on Switch.
The Switch store. Do they have a good name for that? Is it just the eShop, right?
I can guess the eShop, yeah. So that'll lead me into my Podtimistic thing of the week,
Okay.
David.
Go for it.
So the thing that is fueling my sense of Podtimism this week is so I am fairly recently interested in speedrunning video games. I definitely don't speedrun games, but I love watching them.
Okay.
I find them like genuinely super interesting and like a very entertaining form of watching people play video games.
Uh-huh.
I've recently found VR speedrunners. So
What
specifically,
games?
Half-Life Alyx is the one that I've been watching.
Oh, okay.
I love this. I love watching VR speedrunners.
Does it show you like them and then also show you the screen?
Yes. So
Okay.
there's
good.
like a camera on them moving around their room, and then also what they're doing in the game. And like for those of the people listening who maybe don't know exactly how speedrunning works, a lot of what folks rely on is glitches in the game to get you through certain parts that would take forever. So like rather than actually playing through the game straight through, you kind of glitch it and get to parts that you weren't supposed to faster. And that isn't how every speedrun works, but usually that makes for a kind of interesting speedrun, because like how the fuck do you figure this stuff out in the first place? It's an interesting thing. But for VR speedrunning, it's different because these people have to physically do the glitch. Like they have to be in a certain position in their room and like drop down out of the level. And so like I saw this dude who would like, he started the level on his bed and like turned it on and then jumped off his bed to get like under the level in just a weird way. Like,
so it's like 3D tripping out the game. Oh my
that's
God.
what I'm saying. They're like breaking the game in a way that I hadn't even considered was possible before.
That's cool. Okay. I see that now. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. And I feel like it's just such an interesting way to
Wow.
approach speedrunning, because you have to physically fucking break the game.
I will use the third dimension to break you, game.
Yeah, so like I hope that community develops more, because I would love to see games that are just developed, regularly as regular VR games that somebody has to do like 100 pull-ups or something to beat the game or something. I don't know. Like
It's Muscle Man Simulator.
Pretty much like all these like yoked ass speedrunners who like, well, the only way to really beat this game quickly,
Do 500 squats, 500 push-ups,
you run 10 kilometers a day.
10 kilometers, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 5-kilometer run every day.
Every day. Shouts out One Punch Man.
Shout out One Punch Man. Where all the weebs at?
Where are weebs at, bro? So yeah, I thought that was infinitely charming.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I am really curious to see what kind of different games require different types of glitching to get through them. It's like, well, if
Yeah.
you just run through your wall in your house, or if you make the game think that this is a wall, but then pass through it,
If you set up your computer on a lever and pulley system so that your Oculus doesn't go out of sync, and then run across a warehouse for 100 yards, you'll just run to the end of the game. Like, just so I love it. It's so interesting.
you have to be going 88 miles an hour.
We'll travel back in time and go into Crash Bandicoot's world.
This is how you actually get into the game. And there's just like a line of fire where their feet wear.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Do you have anything fueling your sense of optimism this week, David?
Yes, I do.
Tell me.
It's a good replay, baby. The game's so nice you played it twice. You know what I mean?
I do, in fact, know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
What's your most replayed video game, do you
My
think?
most replayed video game. So we're talking strictly like single player experiences, right? Because it's not like I could
Yeah, I think
replay
so.
like Rock Band or replay Halo Online or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I think a campaign sort of situation.
Okay. Probably it's probably got to be either Jak 2 or Resident Evil 4.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Those are not ones I would have expected.
Right? Yeah. I'm very mysterious man, Chase. I'm full of surprises.
Learn something new every day.
Learn something new every day, stranger.
Hey, stranger. What are you learning, stranger?
Do you want to do another playthrough, stranger? I just loved those games, and I just felt like the gameplay loop itself was good enough to warrant going through the game again, and the beats of the story were good enough to still keep me engaged.
Yeah.
So I don't really play through many games more than once. I'd say...
Yeah, neither do I.
I'd
Definitely
say
not.
probably even starting up a game and like getting maybe halfway through the first level is probably like 5%, probably less than 5% of the games I play. Right? I just don't do replays. And I don't really rewatch movies either.
Yeah, I unfortunately am guilty of this as well.
I'm just like, seen it, next. I remember it.
Something new.
Yeah.
Something fresh.
Give me a freshie. I like fresh experiences. Don't give me that nasty old used up video game story. Already seen it. Already done it. I comb through those MFers like with a fine tooth comb. So I ain't missing anything. That's for sure. So that's my optimistic thing for a week that got a little aggressive at the end there for some reason. Sometimes you gotta let the aggression out.
I get it.
But no, it's good. It's fun. It's fun playing through it again as different characters. We're lizards now instead of humans.
We're lizards now.
We're lizards now. People interact with you differently. You have different dialogue options. We use the two different characters as our side companions, so we get all their different stories, different classes. So we play is really different. You have different skills and different strengths and weaknesses and everything like that. So it's pretty different game. And then you can also murder everybody in a camp because you still kind of fucked up stealing something, even though you put all of your class points in it.
I get what you're putting down.
Yeah, happens sometimes.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us. But it's fun. It's still fun. It's just like a different take on the same game. It's interesting.
Cool.
That's it.
Okay. Well, do you want to move on to our main thing?
Yes.
So because the last bracket that we did was so painless and fun and did not hurt us at all, we decided we wanted to do another one.
Yeah, I still don't cry at night thinking about that last one.
About choosing between Mario 64 and Link to the Past? Was that the heads up?
It was easy. It was easy peasy. I don't have any regrets. No regrets.
No regrets. We decided to do a bracket of the PlayStation exclusive first-party game. I'm not exactly sure which of all of these fall into that, but games that are mostly PlayStation games.
Mostly PlayStation games.
I think I tried to make this bracket first-party PlayStation games, but in reading over it the second day, I'm like, I bet a few of those weren't actually first-party PlayStation games. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll find those, and if they cause an issue, we'll just throw them out.
We'll throw them out. We'll throw them straight in the garbage.
Yeah, that's our prerogative.
Sweet. Okay, so do you want to... I feel like we established how we were judging the games last time. Do you want to do the same thing here?
Yeah. So I guess there's a formula, at least in my head, where I judge it on, objectively how good it is. Mm-hmm. Also my nostalgia factor.
Okay.
Also its relevance and importance to gaming as a whole.
I think that's it. I think
equal parts of each, I would say, for the most part.
I usually try to be fair as far as this wasn't just my favorite game of all time, but there are some games that I kind of have to pull for in that category of this one was just so good to me that I can't help but try and pull for it. But
that's true. That's fair.
But I also think that I want the best game overall, not just my favorite game to get the pick.
Yeah, it's not fun if it's just your favorite game.
No, yeah. Okay, with that, let's get the fuck in here because we got a lot of games to go over.
Let's GTF in here.
Okay, for the first matchup, top left corner.
Top left.
It's Final Fantasy Tactics versus Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back.
Did Final Fantasy Tactics come out on the PlayStation? Was that the one?
It did. The first one
did. The very first PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't know if this is this a PlayStation game? Was it only on PlayStation? I feel like I think of Final Fantasy Tactics more as a Nintendo game for some reason.
I do as well, but this one I think originally was an exclusive to PlayStation. It eventually did come out on Game Boy, but the original Tactics was a PlayStation exclusive. All that said, on the other hand, I don't really remember the second Crash Bandicoot being that much better than the first.
That's true, but I feel like that's the one I played. No, wait. Did I play Cortex Strikes Back? There's 3 of them, right?
There's 3 of the like main ones that came out on PS1.
There's just straight up Crash Bandicoot, Cortex Strikes Back, and then I played Warped. Bandicoot 3. Warped.
Warped was the banger. I liked Warped.
Warped was my boy.
Yeah. My choice here was Tactics. That's what I put up.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Cool. Let's go with that. Okay. Next matchup. The classic Mark of Kree on the PlayStation 2 versus God of War 3.
So it's obviously God of War 3, but don't knock Mark of Kree. That was actually a good game.
It was actually pretty good. I do remember liking this game quite a bit.
But God of War 3 was...
It's pretty good.
You just can't beat that opening sequence.
It was a real good opening level.
That opening sequence was amazing, honestly.
You're like climbing up the Titans, literally going up Mount Olympus.
That was so good. And it was just everything that you wanted from the first PlayStation 3 entry of the game that kind of redefined scale and grandiosity on the PlayStation 2. And then at the end of the second game, it's just like, this is the cliffhanger. We're climbing up Mount Olympus. So how's the next game going to start? It starts with you climbing up
literally
Mount Olympus on the back
of
a Titan to kill the gods.
It was very cool.
It was so good. Honestly, that game can get pretty far just based on that first level alone.
It's true, yeah.
But yeah, it's God of War 3.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, the next one is Sly Cooper, Band of Thieves versus the first Uncharted, Drake's Fortune.
Band of Thieves, was that the second Sly Cooper?
I believe that's the second one.
Because the first was Thievius Raccoonus, and third was...
Thieves in Time, I think?
Thieves in Time? Honor Among Thieves?
Band of Thieves is the second Sly Cooper.
Okay, so I've only played the third Sly Cooper. I played the third and the first Sly Cooper, actually.
Okay. I think I had played this one as well, and I also think this one was not the best of them.
Yeah, I feel like I'm leaning toward Uncharted, even though it's the weakest Uncharted in the trilogy, or the series, I should say. It's four or 5 games now, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But still a pretty, I wouldn't say groundbreaking, but tone-setting game for PlayStation at that time.
Yeah, it was a shift.
It was a definite shift.
Yeah. My choice is Uncharted here as well, so I think we're probably aligning there.
Uncharted.
Okay, cool. Next one, Twisted Metal 2 versus the original Tomb Raider.
I'd say Twisted Metal 2.
I think so as well.
I didn't love the original Tomb Raiders.
I didn't either. I maybe I was just too young or something, but like I've played them recently, and like it controls really rough and like feels pretty bad.
That's what I remember, is that it just controlled really badly.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, I'm just like, I don't have fine motor skills. I acknowledge that, but this doesn't play very well. Yeah.
Yeah. And Twisted Metal 2 is pretty fun. That game kind of hits.
I always loved those games, those kind of vehicular combat games. I think that those have a soft spot for me. So, especially over Tomb Raider. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not a big Tomb Raider stan, I guess I would say.
Sorry, Tomb Raider fans. You're out.
Sorry, Toomby.
Sorry, Toombies. Okay. Tekken.
Toombies.
Tekken versus Jak 2.
Are those bees that you find in a tomb? Toombies?
Toombies, yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
The bees buzz. Oh, the tomb bees buzz.
Call back. It's Jak 2 for me. I'm sorry. Tekken's good. Jak 2 is a top game for me.
Jak 2 is not a top game for me, but Tekken is not a good fighting game to me. I bet there are a lot of people who enjoy Tekken, but I am not among that crowd.
Fair.
There's a lot of good fighting games that I just like. Tekken's not on that list. Above like Soul Calibur?
No, definitely not.
Of like Marvel versus Capcom.
I did love Tekken Tag Tournament though.
It was fun, I agree. But there's other fighting games that I'm like, oh, that's a good fighting game. Tekken's just like, it's a fun game.
Yeah, I never was like obsessed with Tekken like I was with Soul Calibur or
Smash maybe.
Smash or Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah.
God, that jazz intro was so good.
It was quite good.
Thank you for riding.
I want any excuse to play that song.
There's your excuse right there.
Yeah, thank you. Quite good.
Anyways, moving on.
Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal versus Spyro 2.
I think I'd go Ratchet.
Yeah. I've also recently played the Spyro games, like that remaster that they put out.
Switch remaster.
Switch remaster.
And it didn't feel great. Like it wasn't wasn't all that good.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge Spyro fan either, even as a kid. Like that was the first game I played on the PlayStation, and I don't think I ever finished it.
Yeah,
personally,
I did like it at the time quite a bit, but I think just like 3D platforming games have evolved a lot since Spyro.
Sure. And and Ratchet and Clank, that's the third one on the PlayStation, wasn't it? Up Your Arsenal?
I think so.
Because Going Commando, I think, was number 2.
Yeah, one of the two, but those games really blur together for me.
I mean, they're all pretty much the same game.
Despite being a pretty big fan, yeah.
I guess the difference between 1 and 3 is significant, but the difference between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 is not, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think Ratchet there.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, the toughest matchup so far, David. The Last of Us Part 2 up against Blasto.
Blasto? Is that the one with the guy with the gun, with like the ray gun, and he has like a pompadour haircut or something?
He looks like fucking Johnny Bravo and Captain Quark from Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. I don't think I ever really even played Blasto. I had this game on like a demo disc from like PlayStation Monthly or whatever.
Yeah, same. I played it on demo. We might have shared that demo disc, to be honest.
Probably did.
But yeah, I played it on there. I was like, that's fun, but
that's
The
a
Last
fun
of Us
video
Part
game.
2?
Yeah. It's
just
like I have my problems with that game of it feeling kind of tough, but it's a fucking achievement one way or another.
It's like Da Vinci versus cave drawings. Maybe I'm putting The Last of Us Part 2 too much on a pedestal, but that's the comparison that comes to mind.
Compared to fucking Blasto?
Compared to fucking Blasto, yes. Quite good compared to Blasto.
Sorry, Blasto heads.
No disrespect to the Blast Boys, but it's not in the same ballpark. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Easy peasy.
Okay. Next one. Jak 3 versus Killzone Shadows Fall.
I've never played Killzone Shadowfall, and I saw that it's on sale right now. Should I pick it up? Is my question.
I played this when it came out. It was like a launch title for the PlayStation 4. It was good, I think.
Because it's like this. It's like almost like a Berlin Wall type story, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Again, it's been so long. I remember enjoying it, but not being like bowled over by how good the game was.
Sure.
I was also playing it like right when I transferred into college, and so like I was in a weird headspace, just very busy and like
sure.
You know.
I understand. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to describe that feeling to me.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. So I think Jak 3 there.
I think Jak 3 is really good still.
Yeah.
Just think about the story for that game. That game was wild. That game was extra wild. You're moving up to the top right now?
Yeah, let's go up to top right. Let's go over there. Sly Cooper, Honor Among Thieves.
Is that the third one? I think the first one is the Thievius Raccoonus.
Honor Among Thieves is Sly 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Versus Killzone 1.
It's Sly 3. Sly 3 was so good.
Sly 3 was very good. And not to reveal my hand too much here, I don't think really any of the Killzones are particularly good. I don't know that any of them are like, whoa, dude, Killzone, that game was crazy.
Dude, I tried so hard as a kid.
Me too.
To love Killzone.
I wanted to.
Be like, this is the Halo killer PlayStation putting out. It's going to be so good. I played that demo of it so many times in that gray ass alleyway with that janky old sniper rifle that just had the weirdest aiming mechanic ever.
It didn't feel great.
It felt bad. Killzone 1, mediocre to bad game. The other two,
not bad.
Not bad, not amazing, but good at the very least.
Sure, yeah. But not Killzone 1.
And then Killzone 2 just gives you the ultimate blue balls ever as a gamer, you know?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It just, it really shot itself in the foot when it's like, that's real footage.
Look at this real video game we made.
Look at this real CGI game we made.
No, in fact.
It was still a decent game. So it was number 3, but none of them are as good.
Sly Cooper,
none of them are as good as the third Sly Cooper.
When they were firing on all fucking cylinders.
God, that game was so
quite good.
Just the varied gameplay. You got to be a pirate boat. You got to fight a General Tso's chicken with a wire foo segment. You got your regular old thieving and just craziness and platforming and
quite good.
Stealing coins and keys from big buffoons, and you have to play all the different characters and they all play differently. It's so good.
What else do you want?
What else do you want? I don't even know what kind of accent that was.
We'll figure it out.
It was something. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Parappa the Rapper versus Shadow of the Colossus.
I enjoyed Parappa the Rapper. Don't get me wrong.
I did too. I kind of felt bad about this matchup because I enjoyed Parappa a lot and I want to give it credit, but like Shadow of the Colossus?
Shadow of the Colossus is kind of like
one of the best games.
The soul of me as a video game player. It is like my dark soul of video games.
Dark Souls.
Yes. It's so good.
It's quite good. Yeah, it's got to be Shadow. Like I feel like there's not a lot of...
No disrespect to Parappa.
No, I like that game a lot.
It did style. Some great style, great music. I always love a rhythm game, but it's Shadow. It's Shadow.
It's Shadow. Okay, Sly Cooper 1 versus Crash Bandicoot 1. I thought this was kind of an interesting matchup.
That is an interesting matchup. Each one in their base evolution form.
Yeah.
Their starter form.
To me, this is Sly.
I think it's Sly too. I'm not a huge Crash fan.
Again, this is another one of the games that I've played recently as one of the
remasters.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't feel great in hindsight.
Yeah.
Crash 1.
Just the aesthetic of Sly,
quite good, yeah.
The backstory, the feel of the game. Like I just feel like Insomniac does it is Insomniac. No, it's not. It is?
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. That's the one.
Yeah.
It's Insomniac's Ratchet. There's the way that Sucker Punch makes games. They just feel just so fluid.
The movement feels incredible.
The movement always feels good in a Sucker Punch game.
Yeah.
Was that true in Ghost of Tsushima?
A little bit less so than all of the other games, but certainly not bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They made other things feel great in Ghost.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Sly.
Okay.
I'd say Sly.
Cool. Bloodborne versus Resistance Fall of Man.
Resistance Fall of Man and Killzone 1 are very similar games. And that they are Sony trying to dethrone Halo at the peak of its powers.
As they can.
And making an okay game.
An attempt.
This one was at least made by Insomniac, so it had some pretty fun weapons. And it was a fun game. I actually played all the Resistances. They were all pretty good.
Yeah.
None of them were like blow you out of the water, amazing or game changing or anything. But they were all fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a huge personally Bloodborne fan. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going back to the original formula of my take versus objectively my take versus also its importance to games, I think it's Bloodborne.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't try to die on this hill.
No, I'm not dying on the hill for Resistance. I'm not dying on that hill.
Bloodborne camp.
Yeah, I bequeath to you on that one. And maybe one day I'll go back to Bloodborne and it'll click for me, but it just hasn't done that yet.
Sure. I love that game a lot. And Resistance isn't that tight. It was fine. It's a fine game. It's an okay
Resistance is
game.
like a 3.5 out of 5. Maybe we should do Resistance on a future episode.
I think it deserves to be in that category.
I think so. I think probably all the Resistances could be in that category.
True. Okay. Well, anyways, mark it down.
Yeah.
Jak and Daxter 1 versus God of War 2. A little bit tougher here. I'm interested to see where you come down on this.
I still don't know.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know where I come down on this one.
This one was a little bit easier for me.
I mean, I think I know.
What do you think I'm going to pick?
I think you're going to pick God of War 2.
You're wrong.
You're going to pick Jak and Daxter.
I was going to pick Jak and Daxter 1.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Let me give you my reasoning.
Okay, let's hear it.
God of War 1 is super good and was like a shift in game design. God of War 3 was like, holy shit, this game is huge and big and all sorts of shit. The God of War for PlayStation 4 is just absolutely incredible. God of War 2? What are we doing here? Good.
I don't know.
Feels good.
God of War 2 was kind of the perfection of it on the PlayStation.
I feel like God of War 3 was the perfection of it. Of that trilogy, to me, the third one stands out more.
Sure. Okay. I see what you're saying, but are we judging it in comparison to its other entries, or are we judging it in comparison to Jak and Daxter 1?
Jak 1.
Because when we do that, I think it's God of War 2.
That's tough. I don't know.
Because I love Jak and Daxter 1, but it's not without its flaws.
It's flaws, yeah.
That I think are remedied in the other games. And it hurts me to say it.
Yeah.
It really does. I guess it comes down to, are we going to let 4 God of Wars through? Depending on who they're playing.
I mean, thus far we've got all the Jacks through as well. So, I don't know.
Well, it's only been, I guess so. Then I think it is I personally think it's God of War 2.
Okay, I'll take your word on this one.
Yeah,
I'm willing to.
I'm not super convinced by your arguments.
That's fair. I think I personally just don't have a ton of memory of what even happened in the second God of War.
Oh, you did some
whereas
cool
I have a
shit.
pretty solid memory of the rest of them.
You go and you fight Atlas, which was cool, and you're in that giant maze, and you're on some Pegasus, and you kill some other people on some Pegasus, and it was good. You time travel.
All right, God of War 2.
You do some shit.
I'll take your word on that one.
Okay.
Infamous 2.
Let me just say real quick.
Yeah.
I love you, Jack and Daxter 1.
Pour one out. He's dead now.
I'm good.
Infamous 2 versus Spyro 3. To me, this is Infamous 2.
Yeah, I like those Infamous games. Sucker Punch, right?
I did too.
Again?
I did too. I liked 2 quite a bit. I feel like they got the like thunder powers down pretty good in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not to give the game away too much, but I quite liked Second Son as well.
I did like Second Son quite a bit. That's a franchise I want to see resurrected.
I was about to say once Sucker Punch is done, making Ghosts of Tsushima 5, they can make another Infamous game.
Because Infamous Second Son was a launch title for the PlayStation 4, and they haven't done another one since.
I know. It's sort of interesting that they bookended this console's life cycle by making two Sucker Punch games.
My thought process was, after I played the Infamous Second Son, is that Sucker Punch should make a good Avatar game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Why? Come on, somebody's got to do this. Somebody needs to make a good Avatar
It's already
game.
laid out for you there with Infamous Second Son.
Just make it
He has
good.
4 different elemental-based powers that all feel so good, and one of them is pretty much just earthbending. So come on, make it happen. Take my money, please.
Please.
It'd be so good.
Okay, cool. So Infamous 2 on that one.
Uh-huh.
Next we got Heavenly Sword versus Knack 2, baby!
Did you actually put Knack 2 in there? Or did somebody else put the best PlayStation games and Knack 2 got in there?
I got up to 56 video games and I was like, I need to make it to 64 to make an even bracket. And so I was like, okay, what games are only on PlayStation?
Just scraping the bottom of the barrel there, baby. I was like, all right, I'll throw some Knack 2 in there as well. That's good.
I'd originally had Ratchet and Clank grouped together, Jack 2 and 3 as one item, but then I was like, I got to split all these out so I can get up to 64.
That's fair. It's Heavenly Sword.
Yeah, it is.
Heavenly Sword was pretty good. It wasn't amazing, but it was good.
It was pretty good. Yeah, I remember being interested in this game.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. I feel like there may be some conflict here. It's Ape Escape versus Infamous 1.
I did like Infamous 1, and I know you like Ape Escape. You've always been a monkey boy.
I want to catch the fucking mankeys, man. Let me catch the mankeys.
I never got the appeal of Ape Escape. I just never got it. Never got it. I don't know. Ape Escape, Monkey Ball, monkey themed things, Donkey Kong. I don't like any of them. Get monkeys out of my game. Winston's the only one who's chill, but even then, I don't like playing as him.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. I don't know, man. If you don't know, you need. No, that's not. If you know, you know. That's what I'm trying to.
If you don't know.
If you don't know, then you don't know. Biggie Smalls.
That's a much worse song. Why? Try to explain. I'm willing to go with you on this one with Ape Escape. Okay. I liked Infamous. It didn't blow my mind, but I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So my mind is changeable here. So sell it to me. Sell it to me.
Some responsibility on my shoulders.
Yeah. This is a big moment for you, Chase. Stand up for all the monkeys out there.
Doing it for all the danky kangs. So Ape Escape is firmly in the camp of I want to complete this video game. This is a ding boy video game. There are a certain number of monkeys per level, and I want to collect all those monkeys. They all got weird little quirks that you got to figure out.
They're all different monkeys.
They're all different monkeys. They all have names.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. What are their names? Can you give me an example? Are they just regular people names? Or are they Mr. Bananas? Peels McGee.
Peepo monkeys.
Johnny Two-Tail.
Johnny Two-Tails. That's pretty similar to Tommy Two Names.
It's very similar.
I am having a hard time finding the names of the monkeys. All 204 monkeys playthrough. I'm on YouTube now.
Wait, Bananas Foster, is that one?
Bananas Foster. Damn, David. I can't find the name of these monkeys.
It's got to be there somewhere.
Names.
Ape Escape Ape Names.
They appear to be describing the apes by the color of their pants, which sort of leads me to believe maybe these monkeys did not all have names. Maybe they just had pant colors.
So it got a lot less cool.
So it got a little less cool. I agree. I hear you.
That'd be a down for each monkey having a name. You can get so creative with that.
Fair. One of them had a gun.
Wasn't there? Wasn't an MGS3 you could do an Ape Escape game? Isn't that a thing?
I think there was some sort of integration with Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
All right, David. Here's the real argument.
Okay.
Here's how I'm going to win you over. One monkey had a gun. The other argument. This was the first game that successfully used the DualShock controller. Up to this point, all PlayStation 1 games had no analog sticks. This game was like, yo, you need a stick to play Ape Escape because you need that right stick to flick it over and catch the monkey.
So you're saying this game was actually a hardware demo?
Yes. It is the first game to require the use of the DualShock.
Okay, I'm good.
Let's go.
You sold me on Ape Escape.
Let's go.
Those apes aren't escaping
It's going to
from
lose
you.
in the next round. I don't care. I just wanted Ape Escape to be in there.
Dark Horse, baby. Dark Horse.
Okay, great. Next matchup. Let's see. The next one is, Uncharted 4 versus Spyro 1. Come on, dude.
Uncharted 4, it's got to be.
It's such a good game.
And I think you and I are just in agreement on we're just not huge Spyro fans.
I was back in the day. I played, I think, almost all of them to completion, but I just could not get on board.
Yeah.
Now, like in hindsight, it's just not as good of a game.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 is so damn good. That might be one that I replay sometime soon. It's that good.
Naughty Dog took everything they learned in Last of Us 1. And they were like, let's actually do that in an Uncharted game. And then told a very interesting and compelling story.
Worked so good.
Yeah.
It is great.
Good. Okay, next one. Amplitude, the PlayStation 2 game, versus Spider-Man for PlayStation 5.
Amplitude. That was fun. I enjoyed Amplitude.
It was fun. I wish it wasn't up against Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's really good. Spider-Man good. PS5?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played Spider-Man on the PS5. That's not out yet.
Oh, yeah, huh?
I was like, something's not right here. I haven't played Spider-Man Miles Morales.
This is the result of me doing this bracket on a Sunday night when I'm a sleepy boy. Nobody's played this game yet, David.
Is it supposed to be PS4?
PlayStation 4.
Okay. Yeah, it's Spider-Man PS4. That's a really good game.
That's a good ass game.
That's not just like a good game, that's like a really good game.
God of War for PlayStation 4. Or SOCOM. That PlayStation 2 hit.
Hey, don't knock SOCOM, man.
Good game.
Good game. It was big on the military tactical shooter multiplayer gamers rotation.
I love the military industrial complex. I love it. I want it in my video
Chase,
games.
you're being too much of a lib cuck right now. Okay. I can't stand it. It's day one of the Republican National Convention. I just need to come out to you.
This is the truest heel turn of all time. Truly turning into a bad guy.
My father immigrated to this country so I could be a racist.
The answer is, of course, God of War for PlayStation 4.
The answer is God of War.
Yep.
The answer is that game is. We'll get to talking about that game more later. I think.
I'm sure it'll go up against something, and I'm gonna have to defend it.
Oh. It's going to be an interesting second round, just looking at this next bracket here.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay, all right, we'll get there. God of War 1 versus Ratchet and Clank 1.
God of War 1. That was a game changer.
It is, yeah.
Ratchet and Clank 1, very good game. Introduced like a lot of humor into platformers, which hadn't been there before, but God of War 1 was an absolute game changer. Mm-hmm. Like, so many hack and slash games. Hack and slash was a derogative term until God of War 1 came out.
Yeah.
And then it became like, oh, this could actually be really fucking fun.
The iteration between Ratchet and Clank 1 and like 2 and 3 was also pretty significant. I feel like 1 doesn't shine quite as hard as the rest of them.
No.
Versus like God of War 1 is still very good.
Yeah, God of War 1. Oh, when you fight Ares at the end. Oh,
Great.
man.
It's great. It's
top gaming moment. Anyways, we'll talk about that more later, I think.
Okay, The Last of Us 1 versus Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped.
Oh, man. I feel bad for Crash here.
I know.
Because he would have beaten a lot of these other games like fucking Blasto or SOCOM or Ape Escape or Infamous if they had been put up against him. He got a bad draw here.
Yeah. 3 was great because you did get to ride a motorcycle in it. That was pretty cool.
That was a good game. I enjoyed that one.
But
I need to do my...
Last of Us 1, my guy.
Oh, yeah, that game is really...
Yeah. It's quite good. It's quite good.
That's in the Pantheon.
Yeah.
100% that's in the Pantheon. Game changer. Do I need to do one, a Bondiga, before we go?
Yeah, one, please.
A Bondiga.
Thank you. It's quite good.
That's it.
Shockingly accurate. Let's see.
Okay.
Eco versus Infamous Second Son.
I mean, it's Infamous Second Son, I think. If we're just looking at how good the game is, like, Eco had a cult following, and it was famous for being like a really expensive game back in the day. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
it's an interesting enough game. Like,
yeah,
cool to have this like kind of indie almost. It's not cheap, but like indie aesthetic.
Yeah. But I still don't think it suffers from all of those types of games where it had just poor controls, right?
Yeah, it didn't feel good at
Eco,
all.
even Shadow of the Colossus, and then The Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Those games all had just wonky controls. And
kind of felt like you were fighting through mud at certain points.
It just pulls you out of the experience, unfortunately, even though it told a pretty beautiful story.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. Okay, Infamous Second Son. Let's go.
Yep.
Crash Team Racing versus Kingdom Hearts. I guess 1. I just put Kingdom Hearts as a general thing because it's not a it's not a first party PlayStation game, but it was an exclusive to PlayStation for some time. It's a PlayStation game. Yeah, so let's say 1 and 2.
Oh, because Kingdom Hearts 3 is on Xbox too, isn't it?
It was, yeah. So let's say 1 and 2.
It's a PlayStation game. Kingdom Hearts.
It's Kingdom Hearts, bro.
Easy. Those first two games are
it's
so
such
good.
a vibe. It's such a vibe.
It's the vibiest game maybe ever.
Yeah. A weird category, PlayStation All-Stars versus Little Big Planet.
I might go PlayStation All-Stars on this one.
I did. That's what I picked as well.
I enjoyed PlayStation All-Stars, actually.
I did, too. It was a weird fucking game, and I don't know that I would have played it for much longer than we did when I visited you in Houston. But
I was about to say, I played a lot with my friends at Rice. And
I only played it when I was with you guys, but it was pretty fun.
It was pretty fun, right? But while playing a Little Big Planet, I'll go, man, this is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's like you don't expect it to be quite as good as it's going to because it doesn't look great.
No.
Like on the face of it, you're like, this kind of looks like a shitty video game tie-in, but it's not bad.
Yeah, and Little Big Planet, I don't know. I just don't think I understand it because people just go crazy for this game, but I'm just like, it just does not resonate with me, and it never has, and I don't know if I'm missing something or missing the point or what.
Yeah, it never felt good enough as a platformer for me to get into it, and I never got into the like creative side enough, like hard enough to really get that part of it either. So
yeah, I think it takes a certain person, but I'm not that person.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then PlayStation All-Stars moves on. Gran Turismo 4 versus Tomba.
Toomba?
I've always thought it was Tomba.
Pretty sure it's Toomba.
What, that game.
The pink-haired kid.
The pink-haired guy from PlayStation 1.
I enjoyed Toomba.
I did too. I kind of like this game a lot.
I like that one. I never was big Gran Turismo person.
Yeah, see, here's my problem. This was the Gran Turismo that I got into.
This was the one for the PlayStation 2 or 2? Okay.
Yep.
Did they even have one for the PlayStation 3?
Probably.
What happened to all the good racing games for the PlayStation? Where are they?
Yeah, they kind of shit the bed. Like Ridge Racer and Gran Turismo weren't really that big of a deal.
Yeah, since like PlayStation 3, they haven't had any good racing games. What's going on? Like Gran Turismo, like I was just looking like, oh, maybe I should see if there's any good racing games for PlayStation on sale. I've been wanting a good like sim racer recently. Nothing.
Yeah. Well,
maybe I should just get Xbox Game Pass and play Forza on my computer.
Forza's pretty good.
I've been looking at that Game Pass. I'm like,
it's tempting.
I could do this on my computer. Get that controller. Would I just buy an Xbox controller? Would that work on my computer?
It would. I use that all the time. It feels great. So what's your pick here?
Tomba.
See, mine was Gran Turismo.
I'm amenable to change.
I liked Tomba. I liked Tomba.
Sell me on Gran Turismo. What?
I don't have a good argument for it. It's not a good argument. This is definitely a nostalgia pick for me.
Yeah.
It's definitely a racer sim, so it feels like maybe driving a real car. I had like I think I had got a driving wheel for some kind of Christmas or birthday, like a Logitech one, and it felt pretty good. It was for the PlayStation, and so like I enjoyed driving a lot in this game specifically.
Yeah.
I personally had a lot of good feelings about this one, but I don't like, if you asked me to describe why Gran Turismo 4 was better or worse than any other Gran Turismo, I don't have a good argument for you. But I could definitely tell you why Tomba was a pretty fun and interesting game.
So did you just convince yourself to do Tomba?
I think so. I think that's what happened. I tried to convince you of Gran Turismo 4 and just dumped myself in the Tomba pit.
I think it's Tomba. I don't know. It's just like, even compared to the other racing games at the time, like The Sims at the time, does GT4 even stand up? I don't even know. Was it a PS2 or a PS3 game?
PS2? It was a PS2 game. Yeah. Because
Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec came out like at launch and Gran Turismo 4 came out at the end, right?
A little bit later, yeah.
Because once Forza, the original Forza came out on the Xbox, right?
I think Forza came out on the Xbox. I would have to double check that, but I'm not sure.
I think at that point they're just like, damn, this game's actually a lot better.
Yeah. And they also had Project Gotham, which I thought was pretty good on the Xbox.
I love Project Gotham Racing. I was a big Project Gotham Racing fan, personally. That's a forgotten game, for sure. Because it just had a weird name. People always thought it was Batman, but it's not.
It's not. It's a racing game.
It's just a racing game.
Okay, cool. Let's do Tomba then. Tomba.
It's more fun. Tomba's more fun.
It is more fun. Okay, Heavy Rain versus Jet Moto.
Ooh. I own Jet Moto.
I remember, yeah. I was interested to see what your pick was here.
That was a fun game. I enjoyed Jet Moto as a child. Oh, wow. The nostalgia factor is brewing up inside of me and telling me to pick Jet Moto.
I'm amenable to either one here. I played Heavy Rain. I didn't fuck with Jet Moto that heavy, but...
Hold on. Let me look up some Jet Moto videos really quick. Because I can't quite remember it.
This is a deeply PlayStation 1 video game.
I just love racing games. I think is what it comes down to. Like, there's something about a good racing game.
It feels great.
That just gets me.
It, like, gets you in a certain headspace, and, like, you really have to, like, focus. I was going to say, there's no time to, like, I don't know, get distracted or anything. Like, you have to be focused on the race the entire time you are playing the video game.
I think that's what I like about it. Like, it forces you to focus totally on it. You can't get, like, sidetracked. You can't think about something else. It's just like, if you don't hit this turn, you're going off the track, and then you're really not going to be having a good time.
It's also a very like masterable kind of game.
Yeah, once you start hitting those lines good and really start figuring out the physics, you feel pretty cool.
Like your skill is obvious when you're playing racing games well.
That era of video games with their music for racing games.
The soundtrack is just ridiculous. I do. I think I'm watching the same video that you are.
You hear this piano?
Ridiculous.
Oh my god.
It's very cool that they're on hoverboards too. Or not hoverboards,
hover
but
bikes.
Like these hover bikes, yeah. Like they're on speeder bikes from fucking Star Wars. There's also definitely Mountain Dew advertisement in this fucking video game.
Right. I'm going to say, shout out Jet Moto. You were a tight game, but I think it's Heavy Rain.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Heavy Rain was that was kind of also a game changer in narrative storytelling for a video game.
It was definitely weird and odd and like wasn't, I don't know, it's definitely not the best game, but like interesting. It was a pretty interesting experiment in video games.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next one. Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time versus Knack 1, baby.
Uh-huh. Okay. Why is Knack 1 on here? Why are both Knacks on here?
Because I needed to fill out a 64 game bracket, David.
Okay. Well, it's Sly 1. I'm sorry, Knack 1, but I can't. I'm not a meme boy. I can't be a meme lord with this.
No. Sly Cooper Thieves in Time was a pretty good Sly Cooper game.
Sure was.
Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Death Stranding versus Ark the Lad.
I haven't played either of these.
I'm going to go with Death Stranding on this one.
What is Ark the Lad? I don't even know.
It was an RPG for fucking PlayStation 1.
Okay. All right.
I bet there are some people who this is like their shit. Sorry, Ark heads, Ark lads.
I was about to say Ark Lads. This is for sure Ark Lads.
Death Stranding is a pretty good game.
Okay. Next one.
All right. I always want to say medieval. It's not. I think it's medieval.
Yeah.
Medieval versus Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a pretty rough matchup. Sorry, medieval.
Horizon Zero Dawn is the Division 1 championship favorite who decides like, I just need a warm-up game for the beginning of the year and just chooses like the easiest Division 3 team to beat up on.
Yeah, sorry,
like,
guys.
They just dunked on them. It was 200-0, only dunks. They only scored slam dunks on them.
Yeah, this game fucks.
This game fucks hard.
That's just the truth. Killzone 3 versus Uncharted 3. I think we know the answer here.
Uncharted 3, it is the weakest of the Uncharteds, though, in my opinion.
I think that's probably true, but Killzone 3 is just not that tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
iToy.
The next matchup, the iToy Anti-Grav versus Killzone 2.
What is specifically the anti-grav? What is that?
That was the hoverboarding one where you had to like move your body forward and back to control the like hoverboard.
Wow, this is actually an interesting matchup.
I know.
This is actually an interesting matchup because do I choose totally nostalgia and kind of gimmicky innovative factor or like just the good but just kind of mediocre to good game? I did have fun with Killzone 2, but I think I had more fun with the iToy, honestly.
We have mentioned iToy on this podcast a handful of times. Not once have I said something about Killzone 2, other than the fact that it did not deliver on its promises of a good shooter.
Yeah, just in remembrance of them trying to pull one over on us, it's iToy for sure.
Yep.
iToy, anti-grav. Do it.
Great. There you go.
Next one's no-brainer. Uncharted 2. Sorry.
Over Siphon Filter, yeah. No, it's true.
That is the best Uncharted.
Over 4?
Bro.
Over 4? 4 is so good.
4 is real fucking good. Uncharted 2. That might also make the shortlist for one of my most played games. That's a real good game.
Fair enough. Okay, great. Uncharted 2. Let's go with that.
All right, cool.
We are at the bottom of the bracket. It is time for things to start heating up.
Wait, before we move on.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you my all snubs list?
All snubs?
All snubs.
Yeah, what is this?
Games that have been snubbed from the bracket.
Oh, sure.
Number 1, Stuntman.
Stuntman. Fair.
Where's Stuntman? Where's the love for Stuntman at, Chase?
Was that a PlayStation exclusive?
The first one, I'm pretty sure, was a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, shit. That is a snub, then. That is a snub.
Don't fact check me. You can fact check me after this, but I'm pretty sure that was a PlayStation. It definitely should have been on there than one of the fucking knacks, Chase. Sorry. Anyways. Also the what was it? Well, what game? What was that? It had a weird name, but it was the Ellen Page game where she was a ghost and she had a ghost brother and she
Between
had psychic
Two
powers.
Souls?
Yeah, between two souls. Ellen Page Between Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. That was a good game.
Fair.
I never played it.
I never played it.
Yeah, there's your bias. Anyways, those are the only two I could think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's more. There's more, Chase. Everybody, all listeners, tell us your send Chase your angry Twitter messages about what game we snubbed, and then maybe one day if you send us enough, we'll do an all snubs tier bracket.
An all snubs tier.
An all snubs bracket.
All snubs bracket. Yeah,
that'd be fun. Also send us your Nintendo snubs. We'll do an all Nintendo snub bracket as well.
Also true. All right.
Round 2.
Let's get down to business. So our first matchup, David, it is Final Fantasy Tactics versus God of War 3.
God of War 3.
Yeah, that's also mine. I think Final Fantasy Tactics is very good, but I do not know that it is better than God of War 3 in my experience. There may be somebody who has a different experience than that, but that's my shit.
Yeah, it's got to be God of War 3. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Sorry, tactic heads.
Tacticians.
Sorry, tacticians.
Something.
That's tacticians. I think works. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Uncharted 1 versus Twisted Metal 2.
This is the weakest of the Uncharted's. So if one of them's going to go down in the second round, it'll probably be this one.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal is pretty good.
It's pretty fun. It's still pretty fun, too. I've played this kind of recently. And
yeah.
I was like, that's still a pretty good game.
Uncharted 1 holds up okay. It's definitely not as good as it was.
So,
It can be a little boring compared to the other ones now that we know how good that formula can be when it's just distilled to its perfect form.
Yeah. I think I'm also willing to let this round go to Twisted Metal because I know that there will be other Uncharteds that make it through that are better than Uncharted.
There are standard bearers for Uncharted. Yeah, I think I'm okay with Twisted Metal too.
Okay, next we have Jak 2 versus Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Oh my god, this is bringing back some old nasty boyness in me.
I was about to say, this is some 7th grade, 8th grade nonsense here in its head right now. Oh no.
Oh my god, I feel dirty. I feel dirty right now.
I gotta sink into the optimism to really feel this one, David. I don't want to get nasty. I don't want to make it bad.
Ratchet is stupid, and you're stupid for liking Ratchet.
I will not debase myself.
Why do you like toilet humor in your games? Jak 2 is serious, Chase. You can carjack people. Can you carjack people in Ratchet? I don't think so. All you get is a saucy little robot man on your back. Actually, that does sound kind of cool. I would like a little saucy robot man on my back.
Oh, this is so hard for me. I really feel bad about this matchup.
So do I. This is a tough one. This is a really tough one.
I think, I don't know. I was going to say that I bet Ratchet may be more fun now, but I don't know that that's the case. I think Jak 2 still might be kind of fun.
I feel like if you did a remaster of Jak 2 and just redid all the graphics and like some of the physics maybe, because it felt good and the carjacking was good and the game gunplay was good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know. Can we come back to this one?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Can we make this like one of the final rounds here?
Did you put Ratchet 2 on here?
No, I had kind of grouped Ratchet 2 and 3 as one, just because I didn't really have a strong distinction between the two of them.
They're pretty similar. Okay, so if man, okay, we'll circle back. We'll
circle back. This one may actually also be kind of difficult. Last of Us 2 versus Jak 3.
I mean, Jak 3 did have dune buggies.
It did have dune buggies. You are correct there.
But Last of Us 2 had Santa Barbara and Seattle. I think it's Last of Us 2.
I think so as well. Yeah. Like in comparing these two games, like
it's kind of an instant classic in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it's real good. It's real good.
Okay. Let's go with that then.
I'm good with it.
Pretty easy too here. Shadow of the Colossus versus Sly Cooper.
It hurts me, but I think it's Shadow.
I think so too. Like, this isn't even the best Sly Cooper, and Shadow of the Colossus is definitely a very, very, very good game.
I think that is the best Sly Cooper. That's the third one.
Thieves in Time is the third one. Honor Among Thieves is the second.
Honor Among Thieves is second? Thieves in Time is the third?
Honor Among Thieves is the third. Oh, no.
I was about to say, Band of Thieves was the second one.
Band of Thieves is the second.
This isn't as easy. I think it's still Shadow, but you're making it out to be an easy decision. It is not easy. That's a damn good game.
That's fair. The third one is a much harder matchup against Shadow, but I think it is still Shadow.
That goes to overtime for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sly Cooper 1 versus Bloodborne, David.
Are we just going to slay both the Sly Coopers right now?
There's another Sly Cooper.
Just destroy these Coopers?
There's a Thieves in Time down here. It's up against Death Stranding.
Is there a Thieves? Is Thieves in Time the recent one?
Yeah, that one was pretty good, wasn't it?
The one on PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
I never played that one.
It was quite good, if I remember correctly.
PlayStation 3.
Not crazy
6
good.
out of 10 from Eurogamer. Uh-oh.
Joe Video said, it makes my body feel existential.
If he dies, he dies. It's Bloodborne.
Okay.
What do you think?
That would have been my vote. I think Bloodborne is just so good. So good.
Okay, continue.
Jak 1 versus Infamous 2. God of War 2 versus Infamous 2.
I think God of War 2.
I'm willing to go along with that. I don't have strong feelings about that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Infamous 2, but I just don't think it's quite as memorable of an experience as God of War 2 was.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm cool with that. Heavenly Sword versus Ape Escape.
What a weird matchup.
What a weird fucking matchup.
What a weird one.
Do you want to catch monkeys, or do you want to hit some dudes as a lady?
With a sword that changes with your combat style.
I really don't remember how how Heavenly Sword played.
It had a weird control scheme, if I remember correctly. Did you just have Jet Moto just a long play still going in the background?
Just in there, hanging out. It looks a lot better than I was expecting it to.
Really? It looks worse than I remember.
Really?
Yeah. I remember the graphics were crazy back in the day for it.
Heavenly Sword versus Ape Escape. Ape Escape. Are you voting for Ape Escape?
Me? I didn't say anything.
You said Ape Escape.
I didn't say Ape Escape. No, I said Heavenly Sword versus Ape Escape.
I thought you said Ape Escape. Like, that's clearly the better game.
You were like, my love for you has grown more than now than ever.
I'm voting for Heavenly Sword on this one.
I agree with that. Heavenly Sword was pretty good.
Uncharted 4 versus Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4.
Uncharted 4.
That was pretty easy for you.
That was pretty easy. I liked Spider-Man, but it, like all open world games, I just suffer from fatigue, like side quest fatigue from it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which brings down my enjoyment significantly at a certain point.
Yeah,
whereas Uncharted, all killer, no filler, as they say.
Yeah, that's true. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with Uncharted 4. It was quite a good game. All right, God of War for the PlayStation 4 versus God of War 1.
God of War PS4.
That's pretty clear for me.
Yeah, that one's...
It was so good.
Like, it's yeah, I still think about that game. I still think about the original God of War, but God of War PS4 was... Yeah, not like this.
All right, Last of Us 1 versus Infamous 1.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, I think so as well. It was such a shift. Kingdom Hearts versus PlayStation All-Stars.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Sorry,
as much as I want to keep the Cinderella story going, I think it's Kingdom Hearts.
I think about Kingdom Hearts frequently.
Yeah.
Versus PlayStation All-Stars is just not really there all the time.
100%.
Tomba versus Heavy Rain.
I have to think about this one a little bit more than I thought I would.
I want to put Tomba through, baby.
So do I. Let's do Tomba. I don't have strong feelings on this. Let's see how far Tomba can go. Heavy Rain, whatever.
Let's see how far Tomba can go.
Jason.
Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time versus Death Stranding.
I never even played this Sly Cooper, but I think it's Sly Cooper, right?
I feel like it's Death Stranding.
You think it's Death Stranding?
I think it's Death Stranding.
You've played both of these, so I'm going to leave it up to you.
I'm going to put Death Stranding because I really want to put Death Stranding up against Tomba.
Solid battle right there.
Okay. Horizon Zero Dawn versus Uncharted 3.
I think it's Horizon.
I think it is also Horizon. Like you said, this is not the best Uncharted of the series.
No, it's near the bottom for me personally.
All right, iToy versus Uncharted 2.
iToy, you've met a champion. It's Uncharted 2 for sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
All
okay,
right.
great. We're getting closer. We're closing in here. God of War 3 versus Twisted Metal 2.
For me, it's God of War 3.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Next one is... we never came back to this, David. Jak 2 and Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. No.
Our children are fighting right now, Chase.
We forgot about them.
We didn't forget about them. We just willfully chose to forget or ignore them because of the pain.
It was too painful.
Because of the pain.
Okay, let me put it this way. Is either of those going to beat Last of Us 2? When put up against Last of Us 2, to me, Ratchet and Clank doesn't stand up. I don't know how you feel about Jak 2, though.
Yeah. No. I don't think it would. It's close, but I don't think so.
It would be leaning pretty heavily on nostalgia for me to say that Ratchet was better than The Last of Us 2.
That's like a 5 to 7 point win in regulation by The Last of Us 2 there.
Yeah. Like they put up a good fight.
Put up a good fight.
But they just played better.
Yeah.
They've been up the whole game.
The Last of Us 2 never trailed. They the other team was valiant in its effort, but it just was outmatched, outclassed for sure.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think, and I reject what I think you want to do, which is just say we don't choose.
No, I do want to choose. I do want to choose. I think.
Can you steal a car in Ratchet? I don't think so.
I think Jak 2 is a better rounded video game than Up Your Arsenal is.
Sure.
To me, Ratchet is more fun, but I think Jak 2 might stand the test of time better.
I see what you're saying there. I think I agree with that, but I still think overall, my opinion is Jak 2 is a better game because of the amount of things you can do in it. And it still had some pretty good, unique gunplay.
Yeah.
I liked the story better. I don't remember at all what the Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal story is. I feel like the story is very tertiary.
It was nothing.
And besides just being humorous, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my take on it.
I'm willing to be there with you.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Jak 2.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so now the matchup is Jak 2 versus Last of Us 2.
This is The Last of Us 2.
It's The Last of Us 2. Yeah, that one's easier. Next, Shadow of the Colossus versus Bloodborne.
You're going to disagree with me on this one, aren't you?
I don't think so. I don't think I am.
Shadow?
Yeah, it's Shadow.
Okay.
Bloodborne is a very, very good video game, and I think one of From Software's better games. Shadow is so unrealistically good.
Yeah, it's true.
It, like, just thinking about the video game makes me feel a certain way.
It sure does. Just like a sense of ennui.
Yeah, it's unreal, that video game. Okay, I don't understand what I've written for this next part.
It's God of War 2 versus Heavenly Sword.
Yes, why did I fucking mark this down? I think Heavenly Sword is a God of War style game.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to say it's better than God of War 2.
Yeah, I think it's God of War 2.
Okay.
There are lots of God of Wars in this.
Yeah, I think it may just be a very good video game.
Yeah, I think so. Uncharted 4 versus God of War PS4. Oh, damn. Can we circle back to that one?
Yeah, that's fine. We can think on that. Last of Us 1 versus Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh, very similar in vibe.
Yeah, that feels tough. That's kind of tough.
Oh, the nostalgia is hitting me hard on this one.
Me too, which makes me think it's probably Last of Us 1.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is like the music I listened to in high school versus like the actually good music that was coming out at the time.
Sure. I see what you're saying there. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tomba versus Death Stranding. Man, Death Stranding really pulled an easy bracket.
It kind of did. Yeah, it's up against some weirdies.
That's some weak competition over there. Knack, Arc the Lad, Jet Moto.
I think it's Death Stranding, man. Over Tomba?
Death Stranding is one of the 8 best PlayStation exclusives of all time.
You haven't even played it, and I think it's fine.
All right, let's do it. Death Stranding.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Gonna erase Tomba and put Death Stranding.
So absurd.
Okay, and then Horizon Zero Dawn versus Uncharted 2. This may be tough. This may be tough.
That one hurts.
Let me lay my cards on the table. I think my favorite Uncharted is Uncharted 4. So I'm pulling for that one over on the left side of the bracket there.
Okay.
But
over
always,
God of War, dude? Is it going to be
not.
God of War?
Probably not. That matchup is going to be God of War for me.
Probably not. This is one of these Uncharted should have been in this fucking Death Stranding bracket. This is some bullshit. Death Stranding, you're the weakest Elite 8 ever.
I will pick sci-fi over a lot of things, and so I'm more towards the Horizon camp, but I'm not really steadfast in that belief.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Horizon was really damn good.
It was quite good.
It was probably the best iteration of a open world game I've played in quite some time.
Yeah.
It just there's something about it that just made it not feel like a chore.
It was all interesting. The world building was so good. The story like really picked up, and you're like, oh fuck, like this is much different than what I thought it was originally.
Yeah, totally.
They lead you along with enough like what happened here that was interesting to keep it moving. The writing was pretty good. Like all the characters were like, yeah, that's a believable person and interesting, and I want to see what they're doing.
I think I'm leaning towards Horizon on this one.
This is surprising.
This is very surprising for me as well.
Yeah.
I love Uncharted 2, but I'm thinking it just doesn't maybe stand up to the test of time nowadays as well as Horizon does because it's just newer.
Yeah.
But Horizon's damn good game.
It's quite good.
I think it's Horizon. You can take away that question mark.
Okay. So we've got those three. We have to come back over here to Uncharted 4 to God of War.
Oh, God. We're just going to eliminate my favorite gaming franchise right now. Can we just replace Death Stranding with Uncharted 2 on the other side? Or Uncharted 4 on the other side? And just be like, you don't deserve to be here, Death Stranding.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm sorry, Death Stranding. You've been retroactively eliminated. You are now Uncharted 2 or 4. I don't know which.
This is the most Kojima way of getting rid of Death Stranding. So I think he'd be okay with it.
He'd be cool with it. Yeah, actually, I've been Uncharted 2 the whole time. So wait, which one do you want to be brought forward in this very realistic and fair bracket? Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 4?
I'm going to leave that up to you, Chase.
I'm going to put Uncharted 2.
Okay.
Okay, so that means God of War is over here.
And I think we know what it means, is that it's God of War beating Uncharted 4.
Okay, so those are our matchups here. These are our matchups here. Let's see. All right, we're getting down to the semifinals here.
Yep.
Now we have God of War 3 versus The Last of Us 2. This is quite difficult.
This is the first, not the first, but a big head scratcher for sure.
I really got to feel this one out, and I'm not convinced either way.
It's just The Last of Us 2 is so recent. It's hard.
It's very difficult to discern whether or not that's
where it sticks in time.
Yeah.
Diggity dig a dog. That beginning level is so
it's so good.
In God of War 3. You fight so many gods.
The gameplay in both of these games is top notch. Like the fighting and all the like boss battles in God of War 3 versus like the fluidity of combat in Last of Us 2 are both top of their class. I think the story in God of War 3 is fun. I don't know if it has something to say, but
the story of God of War 3 is what all the little angry boys on the internet wanted the story of Last of Us 2 to be. It's just pure vengeance.
Yeah. Only the good guys win.
Yeah.
But Last of Us 2 has something to say, and I don't know that I like it very much.
Mr. Ludonarrative Dissonance himself coming out.
It's me. But God of War 3...
Come on, man. In Last of Us 2, they fight scars. They're literally two women fighting their scars.
God of War is less ludonarratively dissonant because the story is killing gods and the gameplay is killing gods.
And then the whole entire world dies and you're a god and you die, in quotations, at the end.
Question mark?
To be continued in another pantheon.
David, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I need your guiding light to help me out.
My cop-out feeling is God of War 3 because it's too hard to judge a game that has come out just 3 months ago.
I think I'm okay with that.
2 months ago.
I think God of War 3 has still held up this many years later, and I don't really know if Last of Us 2 will. I think it will. I think it's still going to be a pretty interesting game. But
will I want to play through it again in the future? I
certainly don't. It was hard. It felt bad to play.
It's like, I love the movie There Will Be Blood, but do I ever want to watch it again? Not really.
Kind of no.
Not really. Yeah. I got it the first time, and I don't need to go through that again.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Well, God of War 3. The next matchup is God of War 2 versus Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow.
It's Shadow. It's such a fucking strong contender.
It's really plowed through.
Any game that you put it up against, I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like it's just so good.
It's really
It is so concise and beautiful and fun.
It's the first game that really made me be like, I guess games can be art.
I think so, right? Like maybe the game design in other games was art and like how they presented it, but like fuck, the whole package of Shadow of the Colossus was just
this music is so good. That sad violin. Oh my god, it brings tears to my eye just thinking about it.
It's very good.
Oh god, I'm feeling something right now. Everybody stand back. I'm feeling. Oh my god.
Give him some space. He's having a feeling.
I'm having a feeling. Okay, I passed. Okay. I'm back to being a numb man.
Do you want to explore your feelings? It's okay in this podcast. It's a safe space.
My feelings are Shadow of the Colossus made me feel sad because I killed those giant beasts that were just majestic again doing their thing.
Just to like revive lady?
Some lady. I don't know her. I don't know her personally. My character knows her. What did I rot on the world?
Feels bad. Shame. Sad.
Shame and sadness.
Yeah.
Guilt. All the above.
Guilt, bro. Okay, next matchup. God of War for PlayStation 4 versus The Last of Us 1. Pain. I am in pain thinking about these two maps.
I didn't realize what you had just said.
God of War for PlayStation 4 versus The Last of Us 1.
Jesus, dude. Look how we just put Uncharted 2 and Horizon against each other again.
The matchup's so nice we did it twice.
Well, just say Death Stranding made it to the other side. I could see Death Stranding being a Siphon Filter and iToy. So let's just switch.
Sure.
Death Stranding with iToy. And then
That's
I
fine.
think that works.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be fair. This is our bracket. God of War PlayStation 4 versus Last of Us 1. Oh my god.
Okay, let's work through it. Okay. So, both of them are really fucking good games. I think
let's work through it. Both of them great games.
Everybody here's a star. Okay. Oh my god. So, I think gameplay wise goes to God of War.
Yeah, definitely.
Story wise, I think goes to Last of Us. Although that's closer than I would think.
It's close. Yeah, it's not
It
far
is
away.
closer than I would think. Emotional impact, I think, goes to Last of Us again. But still, once again, closer than you would think.
Very, very close.
Closer than you'd think.
When Kratos is like seeing Zeus and like he's in the underworld or whatever, and like he's fighting Zeus, and like he's really scared that Atreus is gonna like see him struggling with this. Atreus just like jumps through the specter of his father's ghost and is like, "Dad, we got to get the fuck out of here. Like, it's not good here."
That was some real shit.
I was blown the fuck away.
That was pretty good.
How like your kids will never know like the own struggle that you go through and shit. And frankly, they probably won't fucking care. They just want you to get out of the goddamn underworld.
Shit.
Unreal.
Shit. That maybe I should play that game again soon too. Jesus.
I was bowled over by a lot of the shit in God of War.
But The Last of Us, bro.
But The Last of Us, also very good. Also dad feels.
The ending of that game. This is the, oh my god, this is Dad's the Games.
Dad's the Games.
Versus each other right now.
Dad v. Dad.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know either. I was just about to say, I don't think I have a good answer.
I honestly don't know.
I sort of see these games as the two ends of the same spectrum. No, the logical conclusion of one to the other. Like, Last of Us 1 was like, hey, games can have good writing if you want to. And everybody's like, yeah, that's pretty good. I like when a game has good writing. And God of War for PlayStation 4 was like, yes, definitely. We know that games can have good writing. Here's one that's also very fun. I was just going to say they kind of took the ball and ran with it.
They sure did.
Also, them presenting the game as one continuous event is very, very cool.
I loved that. But God, that first scene in The Last of Us.
A killer. A fucking killer.
Oh my God, dude. I guess this one comes down to, are we going to put a premium on fun or emotional storytelling? Because I feel like Last of Us for me is more of the emotional storytelling element, whereas God of War is more, has that, but also is, I think, more of an enjoyable, fun game.
Yeah.
So maybe it's God of War.
That's kind of where I'm going. That's kind of where I'm leaning.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
For me personally, I think it was a more effective story, but I think that's just, brash, tough dad feels coming out.
Sure. I see that.
But it's still a very fun game.
That game is so good.
Okay. Let's keep going then. Uncharted 2 versus Horizon Zero Dawn. We've actually already
it's
done
almost
this.
Like we've done this before. It's Horizon.
Remember back, we've done this matchup before, which is in fact
we
Horizon
just changed it around so there was actually a one seed in that other bracket, because otherwise that was just bunk.
Oh God. Okay. All right. So both the finals here, both of which have a matchup of God of War. both of which on the other side have a main protagonist with a bow.
Whoa. Illuminati confirmed.
Okay. God of War 3 versus Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus.
It just bowls everything over. It doesn't give a fuck, David. This game is so goddamn good. I have no problems with putting Shadow right here. It's just
your computer does apparently. There it is.
Like, no, it's a wrong decision.
Yeah, that one wasn't even that hard.
No, it's so influential and so good.
Mm-hmm.
This one is harder.
I think it's God of War.
I also think that.
Horizon is really great, but it didn't make me feel so
that's
deeply.
True.
God of War made me feel so many things.
Yeah. Okay. Shadow of the Colossus. This is the finals. These are the best PlayStation games.
This is the good finals. I'm A-okay with this finals.
Yeah, me too. Shadow of the Colossus up against God of War for PlayStation 4.
I think it might be Shadow of the Colossus.
I think it might be Shadow of the fucking Colossus. I think that game is so fucking good.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I think it's Shadow of the Colossus. That game it's like it exists on a different dimensional plane than other video games. It like feels like a video game that someone from like a future alternate timeline planet would be playing.
Back to us.
Yeah, it's just like they need this game. This will help them get through 2020.
It's God of War 4 or God of War for PlayStation 4 feels like a very like crazy good execution of video game storytelling. Shadow of the Colossus is like a fucking Miyazaki film of like it exists just on this other plane of existence that is so good and so concise.
Yeah. It is an emotion and a story that exists in its own space, and it's just chosen to be expressed through video games, if that makes sense.
And works well there. Like the whole the theme of you like starting to feel guilty over like killing these monsters over time is just constant.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it plays on the tropes of video games of like you're just wandering through this barren wasteland killing monsters,
mm-hmm.
but like suddenly you're supposed to kind of feel bad, and doing that all without saying very much.
I know, and it doesn't tell you to feel sad or bad.
No.
It's a totally organic experience when you start feeling kind of guilty about it and you start seeing what it's doing to you and the things that happen. Like, why is it that every time I kill one of these things, these little black worms come into my body?
And
what's going on here? Why does it look bad? Why do I just wake up here? What is this voice talking to me? Right? It definitely, it lays this seed of kind of disquiet and discomfort very subtly, and it just kind of grows throughout, right? But then when you go and fight one of these colossi and the music starts playing, you're just right back into it because it is
like, I gotta kill.
It is just so cool to fight these things. It is so fun, and each one is so unique. There's a reason why there is no other Shadow of the Colossus type game, and there's like 5,000 God of War type games. You know, there's no one can do it. No one can do it. Who's gonna attempt to try and make one and be like, this game's inspired by Shadow of the Colossus? It's like going up and saying like, I'm inspired by Jesus. That's how I live my life. I'm inspired to be like Jesus. Actually, a lot of people say that. Maybe it's more like saying, I don't know, I'm inspired to, or my painting is inspired by
Divinity.
It's inspired by the Mona Lisa. Only Divinity. This is actually Mona Lisa 2. This is the sequel to Mona Lisa.
My movies are only inspired by Citizen Kane, and that's it.
This was the sequel to Citizen Kane. It's very good. Citizen Kane isn't in it. His name is Citizen Drake, and
it's Nathan Drake.
It's actually Drake.
I like how the monster design in Shadow of the Colossus sort of progresses in the story as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're presented with like essentially monsters in the beginning, right? Like these big creatures who are pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, you like start encountering the monsters that are like, they just seem kind of like curious and more aghast that you're trying to attack them.
Yeah, they're more just like hanging out.
Yeah, like the one where you go into like the hills and you have to hide in the little like burrows, and then the monster like peeks his head down and you go and like stab him in the head a bunch, and you're like, oh, that felt pretty bad to kill this thing that was just like trying to play maybe.
Yeah.
It's God.
We're playing Stab You in the Head. That's a game, right?
That's the game that we're playing today.
It's the game today.
Oh God. Shadow of the Colossus, dude. That's it.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with that.
I'm very okay with it.
2 hours into the pod, I'm okay with that.
This is a grande pod.
Hi, can I actually get a Vente pod with 2 pumps of Podtimism, please?
Extra pump, please. I'm feeling extra pessimistic today, so I need some pod. Straight to the dome, please.
Wow. Okay. Congrats to Shadow of the Colossus. You're the best PlayStation video game. Let's finish this out so people can go about their day.
Yeah. Have fun editing this one, Chase.
Yeah. It'll be fine. Okay. David, we're on Twitter still.
Tweet us
About if you feel like there was a snub list. We'll put together a snub bracket if you feel so inclined.
Your hot takes, your cold takes, your tepid takes, all of them, all the above.
Any of them. Yeah, that's it. Review the show if you want to, but not this week.
Yeah,
there's a lot of content here.
Sure
Just
is.
Let us take you through.
Let us know how you like it.
Let's do a gaming wisdom differently this week.
Okay.
You start the sentence. I will say a word, and then it'll go back to you with a different word, and we'll go back and forth until we have gaming wisdom.
I was hoping you were going to say this.
Yes.
Okay. I start?
Yeah, you start.
Okay. Games
can
make
you
think
about
feeling
in
your
butt.
Just kidding, everybody. This was actually Baldur's Gate 2, the podcast.
Oh no. Video games can make you think about feeling in your butt.
It was all just a long con. Welcome back, Baldur boys.
Welcome back to GapeCon.
Welcome back, Gape heads.
Jesus Christ. We will do a different pod next week, I promise.
Or will we? That's the fun. You never know what you're going to get.
See you all next week, real gapers.
See ya.